Okay, let's do this. Here I am. I'm planning, if you can hear this, I hope you can hear me. I want to do my rebounding. So my new routine is to, when I'm not at the gym, do my rebounding and speak to you on at least one of my YouTube channels, the more casual ones, not my main one, Plunder, the true crime channel where you guys know where I'm usually made up, relaxed, well-researched, sitting in a chair beside my Jesus. There's one up there of him too. I love that artist, Akiani, the little girl. Okay, so the deal is, I want to get this off my heart. The next video I might make on my main channel is about, of course, the new trophy wife. Boy, that controversy. If you haven't seen it, it's this woman, and I gotta make sure I don't say her real name because I don't want her children exposed any more than they're already exposed. I feel like they're already exposed too much. Very sad story. She's gotten more than 2 million views. It's like a 14-minute video. It's this woman, gorgeous woman, I'm just gonna call her the new trophy wife. She has her channel named Isis. People think her name is Isis Morales, but that's not her real name. I had to do a bunch of digging, researching to find out her husband's real name. I'll just call him OJ. And her name and all their drama. So she made a video 6 days ago titled, I Married a Monster. I Married a Monster. And it's so tragic and sad. She's only 29. She married this guy who's 50 now. So I learned that she married him in 2019, 5 years ago. So she must have gotten married to him when she was 24. He was around 45. Her story can be a little confusing. We don't have, all the details. The gist of it is, she had already had 2 children, 2 boys, from a previous relationship or ships, I'm not sure. 2 older boys. She got pregnant when she was 17. So by the time she was 24, she realized she didn't want to live life as a single mom. She met this guy. She said their first date, her and OJ, when he was 45, he wanted her to immediately be his girlfriend. And she's like, no. She follows this whole movement, which is, I don't know, I don't want to paint it with a whole bad swath. Some of it might be good advice, but this movement kind of teaches women almost like gold digging. Not everyone would agree with that. The whole high value man, and I don't even know all the terms. That just shows you how much I don't know. I agree with certain philosophies, some I really don't. I was raised by 2 parents who both worked really hard inside and outside the home, so that's my philosophy. Everybody grinds. We all grind. It's not about one person being spoiled and looking for a high value man who must make at least $100,000 a year to be considered valuable. No. Okay, so back to her story. I almost said her real name. The trophy wife said their first date was different, and he wanted her to be his girlfriend. She's like, no. She knew what she brought to the table. She's really beautiful, thin and poised, and, physically attractive. She says he posited himself as a Christian man, a caring man. She liked the way he treated her boys. Ugh. Anyway, she ended up moving out of wherever she had to move out of. She needed a place to stay. She wanted to move in with OJ. He said, if I'm remembering the stories correctly, I've watched so many videos. He said, no, I'm not living with you unless we're married or something like that. So she went out and spent like $600 on a band for him, showed him she was serious about getting married, and I guess they got married in 2019. Well, within those 5 years, she had 3 more children. So remember, she has the first 2 boys by prior relationship. Then she had 2 girls by OJ, her husband. And then, what, just a few months ago, she had a baby boy by OJ. She said recently she discovered between her 4-year-old and 2-year-old daughter, between her 4-year-old and 2-year-old daughter, the 4-year-old, I want to be tactful, had issues going on. She knew something was wrong down there. She asked her 4-year-old, did anyone touch you? The trophy wife says her 4-year-old told her it was daddy. Boom. People are like, what? People who are watching and reacting to this video, and I'll just link to it below. You've probably already seen it. I might include clips of it in a different video I create. This channel will be more like maybe behind the scenes, casual stuff that's on my mind and heart that I need to get out. And my other channel is like more well researched. I have been researching this case because I love researching and getting the real facts, the real story. So after that, she said she felt like her world collapsed. Now in this video, she's telling she is crying. She's not her usual made-up self. She's not behind her general fireplace or some fancy hotel or whatever. I don't know where she is, but she's sitting on the floor by a couch in a robe. You know, she still looks pretty, but you can tell she's heartbroken. My heart went out to her when I first watched her video. So she said as soon as her daughter told her that news, it felt like her world collapsed. She felt like, oh my goodness. And she knew her husband was on his way home. So she told her 4-year-old, don't tell daddy what you just told me. And she needed an excuse to take all the children out of the house. So, oh my goodness, can you imagine taking 5 children out of the house and you just learned that news? According to the trophy wife, that your husband has been assaulting his own 2- and 4-year-old daughters. That's what she says she eventually found out. She said she, told a little white lie. I'm taking all the kids Halloween shopping. She needed an excuse to take all the kids, I guess by herself, out shopping or with her sister or something. So she left and she went to a hospital, I guess to have her daughter examined. She said something about they didn't do that type of examination at that particular hospital. I don't know if they needed to go to a children's hospital. We don't have a lot of details. She did say she got a police escort from that hospital to the other hospital. And that's when they discovered both the 4-year-old and the 2-year-old girls had been touched. I don't know about the boys. I hope they've examined them too. So she told this story, and no wonder it went viral because it was so different from her normal vibe. I had never heard of her, but, she was of the vibe of, women basically parlay. They don't really say it this way, I guess. Parlay your looks into getting the man, into getting a rock, into getting the bag. Live your soft life. High value men or whatever. You can tell I don't agree with some of the parlance. I believe, look at a person's heart. But she's claiming she didn't just marry this man for his money, even though she said he was one of the most successful men she's ever met. So, and she used to date younger guys, I guess, but then she decided to start dating older men. She feels like they're more men, they're more protective. It's crazy. In some of her videos, and one of them, thank God I was able to screen record parts of it. I'll link to that below too. Because people were like, some people are being way too harsh on her. There are questions. The one I screen recorded shows her going live It was one of only 2 lives on her channel, and it's been deleted. But I grabbed some screenshots because people were saying, you know, why are her kids screaming in the background? And she's saying, I don't know why they're screaming, you know. I don't know if the kids were just playing, but she did say, the trophy wife said, they're with daddy upstairs. And so it's scary to think what could have been happening. We don't know what actually happened. Now, I'm choosing to believe a lot of her story. Some people have gone like way on the extreme, calling her all kinds of names, calling this trophy wife a scammer, claiming her husband probably didn't do anything, or maybe he did, but they think she's running a scam. Meanwhile, she's in the comment section of some of her posts like, I'm not scamming. This really happened. He had someone come steal my car. He cut off my phone. He cut off my internet. He drained the bank accounts. Because from the court dates, and I'll go over them more thoroughly in a different video. We'll see when I do it. It looks like in September, you can tell something happened. I believe it's September 24th. That might have been the day she left. I do see not only divorce filings, I do see criminal cases. I see child abuse DV. I see that it's been transferred. I've been emailing with police departments. Whew, Baltimore City is no joke trying to get information out of them. There's various court websites you can look at. One of them gives you more info than the other. One of them let me know that the DV case, even though it says closed, it also says it was transferred. So I'm going for it. I'm trying to find what happened with this man. The confusing part is we cannot find any arrest information for him yet. And that's why a lot of people started not to believe the trophy wife. Some people are assuming, oh my goodness, if you literally took your daughters to the hospital, if they literally confirmed any type of abuse, this man would have been arrested lickety-split. And I guess that's what I assumed. I couldn't find him on VineLink for a new case. I found OJ on VineLink for a 2013 case. He was previously married. Looks like he's got divorced. There was contention. There were domestic cases. There's civil traffic cases. I'm trying to get the body cam and dash cam and videos, 911 calls. I'm trying to get everything because I like facts. Like, I'm coming on here now talking about this only after researching for days. And I probably won't make my next video about it until I have even more of my ducks in a row. Because I see a lot of people are getting on there. They're talking about her. They're going off assumptions, some of them without all the details. And since I love researching, I want to know all the details. What's truth? What's not? If this man has not been arrested yet, why not? We can't make the assumption, oh, it's all a scam. She was lying about everything. And some people are just being so horrible to her. My heart went out to her. I get it. I am a compassionate, empathetic person. I get it. When I hear about, you know, a person has reached out to me like, me and my kids need dinner tonight. And yeah, I have Venmo'd money. I just feel a heart for any child who might be out there hungry and hurting. Now, I leave it up to God. I say, God, give me discernment on where to give, how to be a good steward, not being selfish. But you know, if I can take $100 and it goes to a single mom and it helps feed her kids, or like giving to my church, and they give to Convoy of Hope. They were boots on the ground for the hurricane victims. Things like that where I feel like I hope I'm really helping. I pray I'm really helping. And if someone's going to scam me under the guise of this helps hurricane victims or this will help my kids get dinner, that's between them and God. God knows my heart about giving. And so when I first watched the trophy wife's video, my heart immediately went out to her children. I just felt like, oh my goodness, to find out that news, if it's true again, and to have to take 5 kids and probably depart the home where they stayed and go wherever. She says she has to apply for food stamps. These are the things she's saying. So I did. I contributed to her GoFundMe. I gave $100. I told her who I was, my YouTube channel, and I told her I was praying for her and her kids and Jesus. And that is the God's honest truth. I keep thinking of this woman and her daughters and sons and her safety and their safety, and it's gone so viral and she's getting so much vitriol. But I also was asking, hoping to find out information about his arrest. Hopefully now with my FOIAs, my public records requests that are in with the police department, I'll learn more official news. I want 911 calls. You know how we do it in the true crime world. We dig. So, last night I'm watching other YouTubers clown me for giving to her GoFundMe, for writing what I wrote on there. It was sad. That part, it really kind of hurt my heart, because it was like YouTubers that, you know, I've supported and linked to and given shout outs to, and, you know, at least join one of their Patreons briefly. Like, you know how you, sometimes people come at you when you're like, I have done nothing to you. So I was like, okay, I'm done with that. Let's focus on this case. But that part hurt my heart, seeing just how people attack this trophy wife. You know, people are confused because in her big I Married a Monster video, she wrote, sometime in the first few months, I guess, when they were married, this OJ guy sexually assaulted her, his wife, like 4 times. So of course some people are glomming onto that, like, well, why didn't you leave him then? How dare you go on and have more babies with him? I don't know the answer to that. I'm not her, I'm not in her head, I don't know her psychology, but I do see a lot of victim blaming going on. What I do appreciate about the trophy wife, for all her faults or whatever perceived faults, I appreciate that, you know, she said she was scared to make that video. She did it anyway. People are accusing her of exploiting her children by making the video. They're accusing her of scamming. They're accusing her of making the entire thing up. And I wrote, okay, yeah, wait, I know this is real because I found out their real names. I see the real court cases in the system. So that was my point in saying, okay, I see this isn't made up. This isn't some, you know, complete farce. I do see you have cases here in the system. I'm still trying to find out more directly from the police department. I'm not just getting on here, playing her video, looking at a couple of screenshots that somebody put on Lipstick Alley of the court system. I'm going in each court system and contacting police, the PIOs, the communications people, digging, the court clerks, calling. I'm digging till I get to the right info, instead of just saying, oh, calling her out of her name. Oh, she's lying about everything. She's lying on him. Anyway, I applaud her for going forward, and if it's true, and I'm glad she believed her child, if her daughter really said to her, Daddy did this to me, I applaud this woman for dropping her mask, stop pretending that everything was great in her marriage, you know, dropped her mask, dropped her, you know, whole made up look, her whole pretense of, I've got it all together. And, you know, she dropped all that to make a video exposing the truth. Now, even if she didn't have to make the video, I applaud her for believing her child, because I know, you guys who've been through this, I've seen the stories where people did, as a child, make an outcry, and their mother didn't believe them. We've covered the case of Madeline Soto, 13-year-old, killed, allegedly, by her mother's boyfriend, Stephen Stearns. Yes. Whew. She, more than likely, according to the rumors I've seen, people who claim to know the situation, more than likely she did make an outcry. We don't have proof. I'm not slandering anyone, but I believe more could have been done in Madeline Soto's case. She didn't have to go through those years and years of abuse. So here's this trophy wife, the new trophy wife, where her daughter allegedly made an outcry against her own biological father at 4 years of age, claiming he abused her. The woman took the child to the hospital, just like you're supposed to do. And if they did see evidence of it, we don't know. Is a criminal investigation pending? Do they need more evidence? Do we just not know? We'll see what the police give me. I don't know how much they can give me. I don't know the laws of Maryland. I'm learning. So, that's the controversy. I just hate to see the way this woman's being attacked. But people are just, if a few things don't make sense, like in their logical mind, you know, they're like, how could he do all this stuff to you and then you go have his children? I don't know why. You know, maybe she thought, okay, he was that way with me, but he would never ever harm our children. Maybe she was in denial. She said she looked past the red flags. And I'm not like windmilling for this woman. I'm just trying to look at things objectively. I'm trying to see what is the truth. Some people are just out and out saying she's a bald-faced liar. She's lying on this man. She's had all these guys run through her. I mean, just horrible, horrible things. Where I'm like, we don't have evidence of that. She's making this accusation, and I did see in court her daughter's name. I saw on there, trophy wife, the new trophy wife, on behalf of, and it has her daughter's name. And it's not just all civil cases. There are literally criminal cases. I feel like none of us, I'm not a lawyer. A lot of YouTubers I watch aren't lawyers, except for great ones. I love Pam Esquire, the Law Intellect, and you know, there's the lead attorney. There's people out there, Scott Rice, there's people out there, Emily D. Baker, who are actual lawyers who cover crime cases, so they can give us their perspective. And I love it. It's great to hear from lawyers. I'm not a lawyer. And I've watched some other YouTubers who are not lawyers. Like, who are those, what are they called? Abe and Preach? They crack me up. They're funny. Even they, when they got to the bombshell part of her video, they were like, oh, you know, just put their head down. First it was all jokes, because she was like, oh, the baby is making noise in the other room. And they're like, what is the baby, Bob the Builder? It was really cute. But then they got to the bombshell assault accusations, and then it's truly not funny. It's heartbreaking. So that's why my heart went out to her. My heart went out to her to just give, and hopefully it helps her and her children eat. I don't know. I mean, by the grace of God, go I. So we'll see what I can get together in a more formal way about this case. I've been just watching and binging her videos and her TikTok, and it's a fascinating case. I definitely want to follow up on. But I just hate the way people are skewering her in the comments, just calling her all kinds of names. This is your fault that this happened to your children. And it's sad to me, because to me that would discourage another mother from coming forward. Imagine, and of course not everyone has to come forward on YouTube, that's not what I'm saying, but imagine if another child goes to their mom and it's like, Daddy touched me. And, you know, instead of that mom directly taking the child to the hospital and having the police involved like they should, that mom goes, oh, look at all the hate the trophy wife got. I'm not telling anybody what happened. Like, unfortunately, I know there are cases where biological dads have done this to their to his daughters, you know, all different genders, but specific cases I'm thinking of. And sometimes the mom tries to leave. Sometimes the police never get involved. That's one thing people are angry about. They're not believing the new trophy wife. They're wondering, were the police really involved? So that's my next step as I see what the police give me now that I've finally found the correct entities to ask. And that's what, unfortunately, I'm not trying to call people out, but I do see a lot of lazy YouTubers who, they're just like, okay, we need content every day. Let me grab this woman's videos and react to it and just talk off the side of my head. And none of us are lawyers, and that's my thing. And us trying to read these court documents and trying to find the right court website, knowing one gives more info than the other. I had to register, but I could only go so far because I'm not a lawyer. If I could go farther into this e-filing system if I were a lawyer. And that's what I called and asked about, because you only get the basics. Now my next step is to get the case files. And I've already, you know, that's what I've requested. I've requested from police too, other info. So that's what I'm saying. I like to go off facts, and it takes longer. That's why it takes me longer to make some of my videos. You know, I rarely go live. This is my version of going live here. Unedited, jumping on my rebounder Bellicon. But I don't go live. And there's nothing wrong with going live all the time. I'm just saying, sometimes it's best to wait until we know what the heck is truly true. Now, yeah, maybe I jumped the gun in opening my heart and giving her money. But again, like I said, that's between her and God. Anything, if she were lying about anything, or anybody who's come to me like, my kids need food, and if they lied to me about it, that's between them and God. All I know is God's given me a heart to help where he sees fit. You know, if it's scamming, that's on them. Whew. But it helps not to be a lazy YouTuber and just grab a video and just react to it and react harshly to it, or just leave her these horrible comments like, B, you lying. That's what you get. Blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to say the things they said, but it's just horrible to read what some people write to her. You this, you that. Without, like, we only have, what, 10, 20% of the facts maybe. There's a lot more behind the scenes. So that's what I'm aiming for. That's why it takes me longer. That's one reason I don't like to go live, because then people start reacting to the comments they're getting, and it becomes an echo chamber. So people go live, they react to this trophy wife. Someone might come in and slightly try and challenge that YouTuber, like, well, wait a minute, you know, I saw this, or maybe it's this, and then they're going off, who are you? Get out of here. What do you know? Blah, blah, blah. You know, it's like, it's best for me. And that's one thing, one way I relate to the trophy wife where she was saying she's more of an introverted personality, and being around too many people is overwhelming for her, takes a lot of her energy. I could totally relate. Like, I like fueling up on God and his word in the morning, being filled with the Holy Spirit and discernment and research. You know, I can take days to research, and then I feel like, okay, now it's time to make the video. Not like, oh, let me jump on here, this trend, and start talking about this video, but I'm talking out my butt because I don't know how to read, you know, the court stuff. And I'm not saying I do either. I'm just like, I'm literally reading what the actual court website says, and then literally tracking down all the documents I can and body cam videos and whatever I can to see what they say, what more of the story it reveals, instead of just echo chamber. Yeah, you know, she should have never been a trophy wife, and that part I agree with. I don't necessarily like this whole movement. I mean, it's fine. They call it trad wives or soft wives or trophy wives or whatever. I get it. I was a stay-at-home mom for years with my children. I appreciate God giving, you know, my husband a great job. He gave me a great job. Even when I was home with my kids, he allowed me to build a writing business, which turned into this YouTube business. So appreciative and thankful. But I'm about just, again, everybody grinding, everybody contributing to the household, however it is, financially, emotionally, helping around the house, you know, just all of us helping each other. And it's not all about what designer clothes can you get out of this man, how many bags can you get out of it? How many purses do you need? I mean, I'm just not a purse person. I got my little Target $40 backpack I've been sporting for years. You know, I get it. I like nicer things too. I like being able to fix up the house, but I don't know. My house is messy. I try and clean it the best I can. It's not about showing off some fake soft life. Here I am making lobster bisque for my husband and children, when all the while, and part of me wonders, did this guy, if it's true, I keep having to say that, this is the trophy wife's allegations, not mine. That's why I like to come with court documents and videos and police reports and arrest affidavits when I can find them. I haven't found his yet. We'll see. Maybe it's in my email. But what was I going to say? Something about documents. Oh, something about the trophy wife. Something about the soft life. Something about how many bags do you need? It's going to come to me. Soft life. Oh, it'll come back to me. Maybe I'll make another video. This is why I usually have notes. But I kind of like doing it this way. Impromptu, it encourages me. Dash, she's been encouraging me. I can learn from people younger than me. I'm not one of those older women who like, nobody can teach me nothing. So I get on here, barely no makeup, impromptu. This encourages me to do my rebounding anyway. So what was I gonna say? Documents, arrest affidavit. Oh, Lord help me in Jesus' name. Sheriff just went by. So finding the documents, reading them literally. We are not lawyers, so we can't assume we know everything. If we see, yeah, case closed on there, domestic violence, that is criminal, you know, but if we see on there closed, we can't assume, oh, nothing came of this. She's fake. She's false. She's a phony. And besides, GoFundMe too has that guarantee where if something does go wrong with the campaign, they would refund us. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this behind the scenes peek plundering with Paula Mooney. You know, I'm just out here. I'm just like, whatever. This is me behind the scenes, researching cases, talking about cases, trying to go deeper, trying to offer you guys something you don't see on everybody else's channel. Let me just react to this. Let me go find some screenshots off Lipstick Alley. Let me just read those. Let me only check one court website. Okay, let me check the other and just assume without doing any FOIAs, without doing any public records requests, without digging and digging and digging. A lot of people don't want to do the digging because they know it takes time. Some people just want to get on there and let me go live and let me dog this woman out. And let me dog out all my viewers. That's one thing that turns me off of people's lives on YouTube. Some people I have unfollowed, or I just don't watch that often unless I'm really desperate about what they're talking about. If they go live and they start calling their viewers idiots or imbeciles and getting in their feelings, that's what I was talking about. Thank you, Lord. That's why I don't like to go live. I don't want to react in a way that's unbecoming, that's incorrect. You know, we all make mistakes, but I don't want to react in the wrong way, without all the facts, getting in my feelings, not being able to calmly discuss opposing views, or even just being triggered off the comments, reading the comments wrong, or, you know. Anyway, whew, that's enough bouncing. That's a lot of bouncing. See, whoa, this encourages me, oh Lord, to rebound more. Now it's time to hit the bath and make my more civilized sit down video. Oh boy, I hope you can't see my, yeah, you can't. Okay, good. We were outside hanging Christmas lights and my husband's like, don't show your thong to the world. Oh, normally I'm doing some, what do you call it? You know, sit-ups. I might skip that, whatever. I want to get this up. Raw, real, sweaty video. That's what you might end up seeing over on this one. And for people who prefer the more edited, calm, those type of videos can just stay on my main channel. Yeah, not showing anything there. Good, bless God. Thank you so much for watching all this. Stay tuned, check whatever links I put below regarding the trophy wife, so you can watch a video I put over on Patreon, which is just her snippets of her deleted live. That's what I was going to say too. I wonder if her husband OJ waited until he knew she was going live. You know how we might tell our families, our husbands, whatever, okay, you guys, I'm about to go record, and you go off in whatever room and you go record for an hour or two or whatever. I'm wondering, did her husband wait until he knew? Did he know, okay, trophy wife is going off in this other room not to be disturbed. She's going off in that other room to go record. Now I have time to have my way with my daughters, if her accusations are true. Part of me wondered that, because people are like, wait, we could hear your kids screaming while you were over here focused on, you know, going live, making a video. And again, people are making the leap to say, oh, the trophy wife must have known. She must have known what he was off doing to their daughters, and she didn't care. She was too busy focused on getting her bag. She was too focused on getting that money. Now, to me, that's another assumption to make. I don't know if that's true or not. Again, she might have been under the assumption he was harmful to me, his wife, but OJ would never hurt our kids. And we don't know what was happening too. That's the leaps of logic people make where I just don't know. I'm not saying it couldn't have been happening. Like maybe he did do something when he knew she would have been occupied for an hour or more making her live. Some of them are like, I think 2 hours long, maybe. I don't know. One's deleted. And, you know, she would snip and do some TikToks and do, I guess, Instagram stuff and YouTube videos when she was occupied and editing or whatever. Did she say, honey, can you watch the kids for a couple of hours while I do this? And was he like, sure, you know? That doesn't mean she knew. If he was doing anything, that doesn't mean she knew he was doing anything. I like to take the facts logically when I can. For example, in the case of Madeline Soto, in viewing all the case documents and Jennifer Soto, her mother's interviews, I've picked up a lot of red flags. A lot of people have. And that's why I've leaned towards Jennifer Soto knew something was going on and she was protecting her boyfriend. That's why I see in that instance. I don't necessarily feel that way about the new trophy wife, because I feel like if she knew something was happening, they're like, some people are like, you knew something was happening and you just came out with it now. But in my mind, if she truly knew something was happening to her daughters at the hands of her husband, I don't know if she ever would have come out with it. Or if people are saying she was trying to hide it and she knew it was going on. I mean, I know there was some kind of domestic situation last year in 2023 with that family. I see some of the court records, but we just don't have the details yet. Now, once I get affidavits and case files and actual documents, we will know more. I just don't know more now. But some people they fill in the gaps. They make up their mind. I'm sweating so much, I got to get in the tub. They make up their minds and they say, it's kind of like partly people, I just don't like her. So she's running game. She's conning everybody. These fools are believing her and giving to her. And they're saying, or some people are saying, she knew what was going on. And to me, if she knew what was truly going on, and if she was trying to hide what was going on and hide what was happening with her husband, she would have never come forward and made that video. Some people are like, okay, yeah, you made the video. I don't know if she knew it would get 2 million and more counting views. I think she probably had many motivations, and I'm not in her head, so I don't know. But she probably was motivated by, yes, I'm scared. This man, like she's claiming, has drained our bank accounts. He's cut off our internet. People are like, how are you posting, girl? I don't know if she's borrowing someone's phone to log into her YouTube account to post. Who knows the details? I hope she and her kids are safe. But maybe she had many reasons for telling this testimony, to just drop the mask first off. Tell the truth. She's no longer a new trophy wife. There's a divorce in the Maryland court system with their names on it. And she talked about rebranding her channel. Now, some people are clowning her for that because they're like, you're just focused on that. But to me, it's logical. If you're a newly single mom with 5 kids, I mean, my goodness, I can't imagine. 5 mouths to feed. And I don't know how much family can help. Maybe family can, I mean, that's a lot of kids to go put in a house somewhere. Hopefully her family is helping her. Maybe she's off in a house living with, I have no idea, relatives, I'm only guessing. But her mind is probably like, oh Lord, I need to make money. I no longer have this high value man who's bringing home the bacon. And I don't know how much he made. I saw his job was some kind of analyst, security analyst, something like that. So I'm assuming maybe, let's say he was making 200 grand. I don't know. Who knows? But if she doesn't have access to that anymore, even though the courts supposedly showed emergency assistance, I have to look for that. I haven't seen it, remember it with my own eyes, so I need to look for that. That's why I request more documentation. I don't know how much money she's getting. She's claiming he drained the bank accounts, had her car stolen. Somebody was like, just sell the Porsche, you know. But she's claiming he's trying to break her, basically draining the bank account, having someone steal the car and sell it, whatever. You know, she's had to apply for food stamps. So if she's had to apply for food stamps, you only make a certain level of income, I assume, if she's able to get them. And so for me, I don't feel bad about giving her $100. I mean, I hope it went towards, I don't know how soon you get your GoFundMe money, but I hope it goes towards feeding the kids. For just, my heart goes out for what, if any of it is true. I keep having to qualify that since so many people are claiming she's probably lying. But then some people are like backing her, like, I'm sorry you're going through this. I can't even imagine finding out something the worst day of your life. And even if you, let's say you had inklings something wasn't right in the home, but you didn't have evidence until your daughter literally told you and you saw something was wrong down there, well, then that's the day she claimed she found out. That's the day she took action and took the kids to the hospital. There are moms out there who did not do that. They kept it buried. Their kids are 30s and 40 years old now, still dealing with the fallout from that. So if anything, based on what we find, I just want to have empathy. Empathy for everyone involved, of course. The trophy wife herself, if she really did go through the things she said she went through, have empathy for her children. Oh my Lord, if they experienced all that at the hands of their dad, and even the ones who didn't directly experience any abuse, if any did, you know, just from the change of the household, a mom who's upset and their dad who's maybe no longer around. And even have empathy for the husband right now, only because I don't know the truth. That's why I'm not telling you their real names. I don't want her real name to be exposed right now because it would expose her children. I don't want his real name. I'm not exposing it right now because, yeah, I don't want any false accusations. You know, we just don't know enough. And I think sometimes not enough people just say, okay, I don't know enough yet. Like, I'm tending toward believing her, even though every single thing in her story might not make sense because we don't have the whole timeline yet. That doesn't mean you throw the baby out with the bathwater like some people are doing and saying, oh, it's all fake. It's all a scam. This blank is lying about everything. And she's just to this and she's just to that. And it's sad. That's the way some of the internet mob reacts. It's so horrible. It's just horrible. So that's enough for now. Time for me to go soak in the tub, maybe curl this hair, do more research, get ready for the next video I put up, hopefully with a lot of facts, true stuff I get from the courts and the police, and I don't know, not being so harsh. People are like, oh my goodness, the backlash. So thank you for listening to all this. Stay tuned for maybe some impromptu, see if I can get up, impromptu stuff like this. That's with me. Yeah, barely no makeup on, got my hoodie on, got my sweatshirt on, but got my workout in with you guys. Thank you. And we'll keep it going. God bless. Take care. We'll see where this woman's story ends.